Higher, higher, higher. Let's take it. Let's take it. Let's take it. Let's take it. We gon' with some we going higher on the case for we going higher on the case for we're gonna get it elevated to the Hey, what's going on, y'all? This your boy Casey King Self Life Wrestling Takes. I'm here to give you my honest take about AEW Dynamite Fight for the Fallen. Man, ladies and gentlemen, I'm serious. I am very serious right now. I get on his fool's helmet because I want him to do a great job when he produces his wrestling show. But I don't understand Tony Khan. It seems like every time this fool comes off a pay-per-view, I don't get it. He gives us a very mediocre episode. Very. And people going to say, well, Marcel, the wrestling was outstanding on the show. No, it wasn't. And match placement was off. This fool basically skipped over a whole lot of storylines that he could have done. And you want me to be excited about what's to come? You crazy as a bitch. But first and foremost, let me go ahead and address... For today, I guess Fightful interviewed him and they asked him about the fact that Triple H is back taking over WWE and there's a possibility that there's people that may be under your wing that may want to jump. And he made a statement, said Cat signed 5 to 7 year deals and all this stuff. So I saw everybody in the IWC saying that Tony Khan's afraid and all that stuff. Listen, man, moving forward, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be seeing people just flip-flop. You might as well just get used to that. It's going to happen. We're going to see cats that's in WWE right now run to AEW. And we're going to see cats, once their contracts up, run to WWE. That's just how it is, ladies and gentlemen. At the end of the day, if you call yourself a professional wrestling fan, you want everybody to do well regardless of the company. So if cats feel that they run in AEW is not all up to par, if they want to go back to WWE and hang on the Triple H's wing, by all means, do what you got to do. If Cass is on the Triple H's wing, say, maybe I want to come try this AEW stuff, come on under Tony Khan's wing and try it out. That's it. I'm not even really tripping about that. I've seen people going in, people saying Tony Khan is scared and all that stuff. If you think he's scared, he's scared. Look, I'm not finna get into that, man, because at the end of the day, cats are going to flip-flop no matter what. Cody Rhodes showcased it. Think about this, y'all. Before Cody jumped, we seen everybody and their mama leave WWE, go to AEW, correct? So everybody was thinking, oh man, Tony Khan not gonna lose nobody, right? He lose Cody. Well, at that time, Cody really wasn't needed. You had Bryan, CM Punk, Adam Cole, Keith Lee, Swerve, so on and so, Ruby. So you had so many people coming through, right? AEW really didn't need Cody. I get it. The TNT title picture has been trashed since he's left. I understand that. It's on Warlord now. Hopefully Tony Khan can figure some things out and get the TNT title picture back up to par. But AEW really didn't need Cody. Cody went back to WWE because he felt he hasn't done what he wanted to do, which is quote unquote win the WWE Championship, which he will do after his injury. Everybody and their mama know he's coming back. He's going to win the 2023 Royal Rumble. You might as well pencil it in. It's already over, and he's going to win the WrestleMania. It's a done deal. So for people that wanted me to address that situation, I just addressed it. It does not matter to me. If you think Tony Khan is scared, you got every right to feel that way. I really don't give a rat's behind about it because I'm not the one that's in that picture. Like I said, why the clown do we care? At the end of the day, we want wrestling to be great. That's what we want. We want wrestling to be great. Every single one of us. If you like wrestling as a whole, you want wrestling to thrive no matter the company. That's just how it is, ladies and gentlemen. Back to this show. This was a very hot garbage episode of Dynamite. Yes, I don't give a rat's behind what an AEW Hardcore head is going to say. This was a trash episode. The main event, fire. But once again, I'm so freaking tired of Tony Khan and him with this freaking everybody got to bleed every fight. Listen, man. Blood calls for it when it calls for it. If you keep doing it over and over and it's not going to feel like it's important. It's not. And I'm tired of this fool Moxley. Moxley is an excellent AEW champion. He's excellent. I'm not, because I know fools going to be mad at me. Hardcore Moxley heads are going to be mad. I'm telling you the bold-faced truth. Moxley is great. But Moxley's problem is he thinks he needs to bleed every match he's in. You do not. You don't need to bleed every match you're in, dude. Because when it calls for you to bleed, I'm like, man, this fool bleed every day. So it really don't matter to me. And I'm going to be 1,000% with you, man. I think match placement. Listen, look here. Moxie as of right now is your current AEW champion, right? You want to picture the AEW champion as your main event guy, correct? Wouldn't you want to give us a little promo or something and set them up for the main event and then have them go out there and do what they did? Now, I know people going to say, well, the main event with DG and Bryan was out. Listen, it was outstanding. It was great. But even Bryan with his bleed, I was like, man, the blood is what killed that. But I'm not there. Match placement for me was off. You had, it's for an outstanding show. Match placement is the key. I say match placement. I say pacing, timing, placing. All of that goes together. And I understand Tony Khan is so he wants the views. He wants fools to tune into this product. He wants to get that million plus. He's tired of seeing WWE as mediocre as they are. He's tired of them doing 1.9 and 2.2 and they show be hot garbage. Listen, WWE has built their audience over 70 plus years. AEW has only been in the business for what, 4 years? 3 years on television, but I count 4 because of what started in 2018. Because of All In. All In was in 2018. But AEW has been on TV for 3 years now. 3 years. You built a decent audience. We ain't all the way there yet. I look at the YouTube numbers. They 3.3 million. There's a lot of people that know about AEW. But the problem is, fools is like, listen, if you're putting on mediocre television, I'm not going to watch. What I'll do is, I got better things I could do. I'll tape the show. I'll watch it when I come home because it's not important television. It's not mandated for me to watch it live. Listen, man, I told y'all every time I'm going to keep it 1,000% with you. Salute to all the new cast that came through. It said 190. Thank you for everybody that came through. Because I'm telling y'all the bold-faced truth about AEW. Tony Khan has become very complacent at what he does. He thinks he's doing something decent, and he knows the AEW Hardcore heads are going to accept it no matter what. I'm AEW Hardcore, but I don't accept mediocre. I do not. And this was a very mediocre episode. It was trash. It was trash, man. The bleed, man, I'm telling you. That's for me. The first match, Roosh and Moxley match was decent. But the blood is what just threw me off. You can beat Moxley up and do not have to make you don't have to listen. I get it. You want to make Roosh look like he's this dominant heel. But you don't have to bust Moxley open. I don't get Moxley. Moxley, you don't have to bleed for cats to feel sorry for you, man. You're the AEW champion, man. You don't need to get busted open. Listen, man, if it calls for it, do it. This matchup, you didn't need it. You didn't need it at all. You did not need it at all. I'm sorry. You just didn't. You didn't need it. Honestly, you did not need it, man. You had Rush taking his blood and wiping it on his. All that, I said, man, and it just, for me, it's just listen. I'm sorry, but this is a knock. This is a knock off of this because it's very frustrating. I like blood. Y'all acting like I don't like blood. I like blood in wrestling. It calls for it, but it doesn't call for it as much as Tony Khan and them get. They so fascinated with it because Time Warner said you can bleed as much as you want. That's the problem. Do it when it calls for it. This match didn't need no blood at all. But the moment I seen this food get buzzed, I said, that's what did it for me. I said, okay, I'm done. I'm out. I can't deal with it, man. I cannot deal with it. You're doing it way too much. You're doing it way too much. And it's just frustrating, man. I'm like, dog, why? Why? I'm like, you don't need to do it. And I know fools gonna be like, man, Marcel, you nitpicking, you trip. I don't give a care what y'all gotta say. I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you the truth. When it calls for it, you're gonna be like, man, they do it so much. It's like I don't really know when it's called for. I don't. Like I said, the blood is what took away from me from the match. I was there, and then I see this fool bleed, and I said, okay, I'm out. So Andrade came out trying to cause a stir, and then this when Eddie Kingston and all them came out, and all them they all came out, right? So Moxie wins. He chokes him out. So after that, here comes the Jericho Appreciation Society, and I'm like, we're running this back. Jericho versus Moxie. So apparently Tony Khan got this new earthquake show. I guess it's called Quake of the Earth. I don't know, man. It's this new quote-unquote pay-per-view themed television show coming up on Dynamite, and apparently that's going to be the main event. So he came out. He said, since I'm back on top of the world again, the JES Society is outstanding. We're beating up everybody. I beat your boy up last week. He embarrassed me. He broke my nose. No, you dropped that doggone barbed wire chair on your face. You dropped it. You broke your own nose, sir. It wasn't Eddie Kingston. So he said, I deserve a shot. I need it. So then you see Anna Jay. She got the microphone. Anna Jay tried her best to cut a promo. All I heard was she sounded like she was screaming. I don't know what she did. I guess she called herself trying to explain why she sided with the JAS. I can say it's just AEW does a lot of random stuff that just makes absolutely no sense. They think they're doing stuff that makes sense, but no, it's just a lot of dumb stuff that's it's stupid. It's very stupid. So she called herself trying to quote unquote explain, but even Jeff had some words. Jeff said a little something, and then you see Sammy and Tay, they was out there. So Jericho running off at the mouth. Moxley hops on. He said, listen, I don't want the wizard clown, the sports entertainer, the clown, but I don't care nothing about that. I want Lionheart. That's who I want. If I'm gonna challenge you, if you're gonna challenge me for this AEW championship, and first of all, let's get this out the way. I'm not no interim championship. I am the AEW World Champion. I said, you're right. Because CM Punk is on the shelf right now. So technically, Moxley is the AEW World Champion. I don't really say interim, because to me, the interim stuff is just a bullcrap. CM Punk is not the champion. Moxley is. When he come back and he challenge and he beats him, then he'll be the champion. Moxley is the AEW World Heavyweight Champion right now. And I like the fact that he said that, because there's a lot of fans that feel like Moxley's been disrespected. The fact that he is the champion, he is carrying the crown right now, while CM Punk is on the shelf. And you know what? The Moxley fans, I take my hat off to y'all. Y'all are absolutely right. And that man addressed that right away. He said, let's get this interim crap out the way. I was cool with what Moxley said. Moxley was on point. That was great. I was cool with that. He said, I don't want all the clown stuff. I don't need the wizard stuff. I need Lionheart. Lionheart versus me for the AEW World Heavyweight Champion. So yeah, that's that. So we move on. Like I said, that's my gripe. So after that, talked about all this, talked about all that, whoop de whoop, everything, all that. So we get a little promo of Mr. Pac, and he went against some young man, and he tried to. From the highlights, it looked like the match was off the chain. It looked like the match was off the freaking chain. That's what it looked like. It looked like whatever they was doing, they looked like they was going at it. So he gonna be putting his title on the line all across the world, and we just gonna see highlights or whatever. But more than likely, he gonna end up wrestling somebody at All Out. That's all we know. And speaking of All Out, Tony Khan said, "Screw it." He just randomly did it. Because what he did at Death Before Dishonor, they had the trios for Ring of Honor. Tony Khan said, "Hey, you fools been complaining about the trios. Here, I'm throwing them out there. Boom. They're going to have a tournament, and we're going to have the final two to face. It's going to be a trios match. Tony Khan has introduced trios championships. So let the stories, let the battles begin." So 50 billion years later, we got them. Hey, I mean, we've been complaining about it, but hey, kudos, decent. So, they talked backstage. Dante Martin cut a promo about Sammy Guevara having Tay out there. I've been working my tail off, and I've been beating everybody up, and therefore, since you got your lady out there, I'm gonna bring my lady, Sky Blue. So that's that. Now we move on. Ricky Starks FTW Championship against Danhausen. I didn't give a rat's behind about this match. The crowd went crazy. They love this clown. I don't care nothing about Danhausen. I really don't. Ricky Starks is over like a bug, ladies and gentlemen. He beats this young man. After that, he gets on the mic and he says, "I'm a fighting champion, and I'm gonna do everything what I said." He said, "This time I'm for real. I'm putting this title on the line right now. Whoever comes out, you get an opportunity like this." Now, I was sitting up and saying to myself, why did Tony Khan decide not to have fun with this, build up a story, and we get this matchup at All Out? And then Hook could have got an outstanding clap. Everybody would have went nuts. He would have got a huge standing ovation. We got Ricky Starks versus Hook for the FTW Championship, and Hook wins. And I said, man, Tony Khan, you rushed straight through it. You had a pay-per-view story matchup sitting right at your feet. You had it sitting right at your feet, man. You could have had fun with Ricky Starks and Hook. You could have been all kinds of things you could have told with them leading up to the matchup at All Out. And that's what Hook thrones the man. And then Hook get the celebration. Then, after what took place after the match, then on Dynamite, you could have had Ricky cut that heartful babyface promo, and then the result of Will Hobbs turning on him, I would have been perfectly fine with it. I knew it was coming. It was not surprising. Some people was probably shocked. Some people was like, what the heck? I'm not shocked. You want to know why I'm not shocked? Because everybody's seen it coming. Everybody's seen it coming. And because Tony just rushed. Not even trying to just have fun. Learn to have fun, Tony Khan. My biggest gripe with this fool, he does not want to have fun. He can have fun when he want to, but when he don't want to, he just throw stuff together and say, hey, look, boom, rush, boom, it's over. Now, what the heck do you do with Hook now? Now the heck that he's the FTW champion, what the heck do you do with that, man? You could have had this built up all the way to All Out. He dethrones Ricky. Then you go forth with the situation between Ricky and Will Hobbs. No, Tony Khan said, I'm going to give you Ricky versus Will Hobbs now to All Out. You know what, man? I don't know, man. I wish we could have saved it at the All Out. I feel like Ricky versus Will Hobbs is a story that can carry over to next year at the All Out. You could have started that and then had them go at it, feud all the way to full gear. But no, Tony Khan said, no, I'm going to get this out the way. I'm going to do this right now. I'm like, rush. And then fools going to tell me, oh, man, you tripping, man. Oh, you nitpicking. Oh, you bugging. I'm like, no, man, I'm just telling you the bold-faced truth. I want stories in my wrestling. I don't know about y'all. Y'all fools might just like wrestling matches. I'm going to do the like story behind what's going on. What the heck is going on? Tell me what the heck is going on, and why should I care about what the heck is going on? Don't just rush stuff because you feel that you got to rush stuff. I was like, man, Tony Khan I'm like, dog, this dude is just, he just be on some bull job. I'm sorry. I told you, man. I told y'all in my video I just did on Monday night. Not finna shuck and jive for Tony Khan. You can shuck and jive for Tony Khan all you want. You won't catch me doing it, man. I respect the man. I like the dude. But you're not going to catch me buck dancing for him. When he does stupid stuff, I'll tell you he's doing stupid stuff. When he does something great, I'll give him praise. But not today, ladies and gentlemen. No. Not from me. You ain't getting it from me. You can get it from all these other cats that's finna sit up and say that this episode was off the chain. That's them. Not me. What I saw was a very mediocre episode. So I talked about it. So now we get the matchup I was talking about. This matchup was good, but you already knew what was going to happen. Sammy versus Dante with their ladies in the corners. Listen, man, I'm just over Dante Martin just losing all the time and showcases what he could do. Dante's great. He's great. But they keep bringing him out here to do the same thing every week, and it's just very frustrating. It's very frustrating. I really don't know what to do with Dante Martin at this point. I honestly don't, because every time you see him on the screen, what does he do? He just showcases that he's a very good wrestler, but he's going to lose every time. Every time. And it's like, okay. Sammy wins. That's it. So, after he lost, and I don't know if Dante's hurt. I don't know if he buckled his knee. I don't know. I don't know if that was just story or whatever. Sky is checking on him and all this. So then Anna J runs out there, and her and Tay beat the brakes off of Sky. And Sky looked like she was smiling as she was getting jumped. I was like, listen, I get it. I know y'all tight, y'all friends and everything, but you gotta at least look like you're in agony. Why you look like you smiling? Why you look like, hey girls, I'm loving this. Girls beat me down. This is enjoyable. I just love it. No, you gotta play like you mad as heck. Like these two women is beating the bro. Like what did I do to you? I ain't do nothing to y'all. I didn't do anything. So then here come, like I said, here come everybody that was Ruby Soho, all them. They came out. They ran them off and all that stuff. So it's the match that's set up for Rampage, Anna J versus Ruby Soho. So that's that. So we'll move on. Right after that, we get a backstage promo. My man DG. Listen, DG is on fire, ladies and gentlemen. He gets the opportunity to wrestle a chilling Bryan Danielson, who's been on the shelf for a minute. He's been on the shelf. He's back. He cut an awesome promo. Said, listen, what the heck has you been doing, fool? I've been out here wrestling my tail off. What you been doing? Chilling at home with your wife and kids? Chilling? Working in the garden? Listen, you ain't even going to be able to hang with me. I'll see your behind out there in the ring. 1, 2, 3. He said what he had to say. Listen, man, I told you I'm a big DG guy. DG done turned me into a fan of his. He got me to care about him. I like DG. If it's anything positive I can give about this show, it's Daniel Garcia. Daniel Garcia is that guy, ladies and gentlemen. He is that dude. I give DG nothing but praise. Excellent segment. Backstage, Jay Lethal, Sanjay Dutt, Satnam Singh talking about what came, like why did they come up short? What happened? Jay Lethal was like, listen, we're not here to talk about Samoa Joe because he won with an illegal move. But we're here to talk about those circus clowns known as the best friends. We have unfinished business to deal with them. Next thing you know, Chucky T, Trent Barrett, and OC come walking out with that tie-dye outfits on. They all look like clowns. They say, we standing right here. You guys are just sitting up insulting us. Like, what you going to do? A matchup has been set. We are getting a 3. It's the trios match from Rampage. Satnam Singh is going to be in there, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody is always... Listen, I'm going to tell you one thing I give Tony Khan props about is they are protecting the mess out of Satnam Singh. What his weakness is, Jay Lethal and Sanjay. And first of all, this is Sanjay Dutt's debut match in AEW. I know he's only wrestled on Dark, but I'm talking about on television. This is going to protect Satnam Singh from his weakness of being able to give us some in-ring work. What I've seen, he's okay. He ain't the best because he's tall. You know how it is when it comes to certain tall wrestlers or whatever. But they're going to be able to piggyback off of him. Whatever his weakness is, Sanjay Dutt and Jay Lee's going to be able to piggyback off of that with the best friends, the OC. And you know what? I'm actually looking forward to that. So I ain't tripping about that. So we get this situation. Everybody's has been wondering, did Tony Khan mess up with this sort of situation? Jungle Boy comes out. Luchasaurus comes out. Now here's the deal. Luchasaurus still has the black face, the black demonic looking mask on. So he still, even though he quote unquote turned back to the baby face, I'm still like not sure exactly where we're going with this. But I got to give Jungle Boy props. Jungle Boy actually tore up Christian when it came to the promo work. He pretty much said, why the heck would you go running from me when you thought that you had this man locked up? I had this is my best friend, and you're going to try to rip him away from me? First of all, let's understand, you tripping about what? We lost out on some money? Well, let's get it straight. You and your wife had a divorce. Now, I didn't know that. I did not know that Christian and his wife divorced. I did not know. So the fact that they threw that in there, and he called him, he said, you ain't nothing but a punk, a B.A. pussy, or something like that. So he said something like that. And the crowd marked. Everybody went off. Look, listen, Jungle Boy, he getting better with this promo thing. I got to give him props. He getting better with the promo work. He getting better. So he rambling off. He talked about how him and his uncle was, when they was burying his father, and he was crying tears and everything. So he rambling, saying what we got to say. Christian interrupts. And he said, you think I ran away because I was scared of what y'all was going to do to me? No, I was afraid of what I was going to do to you. And let's get this straight. Jungle Boy, the only reason you are irrelevant is because of me. And I got a secret or something. I know your secret or something like that. Here's the deal. My whole interest for this storyline is Luchasaurus. That is the whole thing right now. I'm very interested in what side is Luchasaurus really on. He still has the black mask thing on. He didn't go back to, thank God, because I thought Tony Khan was going to have him come back out there with the green Luchasaurus mask. He has the black Luchasaurus mask on. So I don't know. I'm not sure. This is the only thing that's keeping me still somewhat interested, because I was like, oh snap. And turn the baby face, and everybody was online. Remember last week I said y'all was ready to throw the baby out with the bathwater. I kind of was ready to do the same thing, but the only deal is he still had the black mask thing on. So that's the only thing that's keeping me like, you know what? I'm gonna still wait and see what happens, because at the end of the day, this is all gonna lead to All Out. We all know this is leading to All Out. That's all we know. It's leading to Jungle Boy versus Christian. We know that. But decent segment. Decent. I'll give him that. Decent segment. I'm cool with it. Jungle Boy getting better with the promo. Christian, doing his thing. Luchasaurus is the question mark about this whole situation. He is the question mark. And hopefully the answers get added up at All Out. That's all I'm going to say about that. So, we get Swerve Strickland versus Tony Nese and Smart Mark Sterling. Keith Lee is banned. This is a handicap match. I'm gonna be honest with you. I kind of was in and out the room. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Right now, I said last week, I'm okay that they started small, but the fact that Strickland already didn't wrestle Tony Nese, this is like this third time, I think. So that's kind of where I was like, okay. But Smart Mark Sterling and Tony Nese have got the assist of some big guy that's been in the back. I forgot who the big dude name was. Josh Woods. Yeah, Josh Woods from Ring of Honor. Josh Woods has now aligned himself with Smart Mark Sterling. So Keith Lee was in the back watching. Well, Strickland won the match, but when they went to the back, Keith Lee was laid out. Keith Lee legit looked like he was asleep. He looked like he just decided, hey, let me take a nap. My man laid him out. Josh laid him out. He laid him out. So I'm assuming that this is going to be the matchup going in All Out. It's going to be Tony Nese and Josh versus Swerve in Our Glory. So, okay. Like I said, I'm keeping it a buck, ladies and gentlemen. Because people be always saying, like, oh, He only be going off because of the cast that look. No, yo, I keep it a buck even with us. I keeps it 100% even with us. So I'm gonna be like this. They starting small, but we still gotta see where does this lead them all together. Because I told you, just because they throw a championship on us does not mean, hey, this is excellent. Nope. It's always coming down to that presentation. Presentation is always the key with us. That's the name of the game. I'm going to keep saying that till I'm blue in the face. So, we move on from that. Now, I believe I missed a segment. The Acclaim, they cut a backstage promo talking about the A-Boys and talk about how we roast y'all last week in that rap battle, but y'all want to throw trash cans at us. Well, check this out. I got a video dropping, and I'm going to roast you again. But in the video, the matchup that we got for you all will be revealed or something like that. Decent segment. Right to the point. So then we got Malachi Black and Brody King talking about Miro and Darby Allin. And Malachi made some statements, said, you run around here playing the Redeemer. Let me tell you something. People living in a world where people worship gods and they do their thing, and it's like a waste of time, because God and the devil is the same thing. Well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. When he made that line, I said he is 1,000% wrong. Yep, I'm going now. Listen, I understand. I get it. Everybody got millions and trillions of beliefs of where they go. But what that fool said was 1,000% wrong. The Most High and the devil is not the same, ladies and gentlemen. No, sir. You can miss me with that religious statement, because that's exactly what it was. A religious statement. That's somebody that's extra religious would say some stupid stuff like that. That was just straight up stupid what he said. So, Brody King said, well, Darby, since you love to have coffin matches, check this out. I'll see you at All Out. Or where, I don't know if they're doing it at All Out, but I'll see you at, we're going to have a coffin match. Let me tell you something. These fools been running around beating the brakes off of Darby. He was at one of them Comic Cons this time. He was legit talking to the fans. These bozos came out, dragged them, beat them down, put them on the table, and sat down as if they were starting to talk to the fans. I said, man, this fool really just loved to get jumped. Listen, Darby Allin loved to get beat up. That's his, I told y'all, that's his thing. He legit tells everybody that beefs with him, hey, anybody who's beefing with me, I want you to pull up every time and just beat the brakes off of me. Yeah, I love it. This is excellent. That's Darby. That's what he likes to do. He just likes to get jumped. So, outside of that foolish statement that Malachi said, because it was straight stupid, what Brody King said about Darby Allin, got no problem with it. But that idiotic statement that Malachi Black said, that's something that somebody that's extra religious would say, some idiotic stuff like that. That's all I'm going to say, because I ain't here for debate, because I know fools probably going to be tripping about what I just said. But that's that. So I talked about that segment. So we move on to the women. Thunder Rosa ran over to Japan. She wrestled Mrs. Mui Yamashita. She lost, so they pulled the WWE stunt. Since she beat her, automatically got a championship shot. I'm going to keep this a buck. I keep it real. Listen, for me, chemistry matters when it comes to whoever you wrestle. It's the chemistry. Chemistry is what keeps cats invested in the match, because the chemistry is the story that you're trying to tell. And while I was watching this, fans legit was booing, and they was booing Thunder Rosa. Thunder kept running into the camera and yelling at the camera, saying stuff. I don't know what she was saying. Mui Yamashita, she's good. She's very good. But I still think what AEW fails to do is to give us a backstory about who these people are that's coming over from overseas that we're not familiar with. Shout out to my man legit trying to get me on the Joshi Wrestling, trying to get me on Stardom. You got to get cats like me who is not familiar with these people. I know that she wrestled her over to Japan. Can y'all let them cut like a promo or something, or give us like a little video package of who these people are so we can get familiar with them. Because Tony Khan just get carried away with, oh, let me just give a good matches. Oh, these are two good wrestlers. Let me throw them out there and everybody go crazy. No, man. That's not how you build a good wrestling show. That's not how you build a good wrestling division. You have to get cats to care about these people that you're putting on TV. Because if we're not familiar with these people that you put on TV, we just going to watch the match and we going to critique it based on what you're giving us. And what I saw with this, I'm going to be honest with you, man. I was like, I don't know. I don't know if it was the chemistry. I have no clue because I watched it. I sat there and I was like, I was looking for that, that spark. And I'm sorry, I didn't get it. And this is no knock because movie is great. Thunder Rosa is great. But I watched this and I sat there and I said, I don't know. To me, the match just felt off, Now, towards the end, the fans kind of was getting back into it. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not really sure exactly where they was at today. I'm about to scroll all the way back up because I think my man, where was they at? It was in Massachusetts, so they was in Boston again. So, yeah, like I said, I was watching this back, and I legit watched it. I watched it, and I'm sitting up here like, man, like, I was looking for like, okay, this is about to be a cold match. Like, I didn't get it. I'm sorry, I didn't get it. Now I know fools gonna probably be like, man, Marcel, you hating on it. I'm like, look, I'm telling you, I told y'all, man, I keeps it real over here, man. I'm not finna come on here and shield out a show that I didn't like. Listen, I don't roll like that over here, ladies and gentlemen. I don't. Y'all know me. I keeps it a buck with y'all no matter what. I keep it a buck all the time. And as I watch this, and I just like, man, Tony Khan, you got a month to get us to give a crap about Thunder Rosa going into All Out. You got a month. Based off of what I was watching, I was like, man, this I feel so bad for Thunder Rosa because I was like, man, I was looking forward to her winning this championship. I really was. I was like, okay, Tony Khan, he finna step it up. This dude getting ready to step it up when it comes to the women because Thunder Rosa don't play. Boy, she got this championship, and I feel like this has been, man, I hate to say it, but this has been one of the worst women's title runs out there. And Thunder Rosa is not a bad wrestler. Like, she's not bad. It's just the book, and it's just how she's being presented. And I'm like, Tony, like, bro, what the heck is wrong with you, man? What the heck is wrong with you? I was like, man. Oh, and I'm going to say this because I know fools are probably going to be tripping when I say this. Ladies and gentlemen, now we know why last week was the blackest episode in AEW history. Because Tony Khan knew this bullcrap between him and Jonathan Gresham was going to hit the fan. So he said, let me make sure that I get the black artists that go crazy. They're going to say, oh, this is excellent. And then, boom, that foolishness with him and John Gresham hit the fan. And that's, and there it is. So that's why last week was the blackest episode ever. Because he knew this foolishness between him and Jonathan Gresham was going to go crazy. He knew it. Tony Khan think he's slick. He not slick, ladies and gentlemen. I just want to put that out there. He ain't slick. So she wins, and after the match, they greet each other. They bow and all that. So that's it. So I'm like, I don't know. So backstage, we get the Young Bucks. Young Bucks is talking to Brandon, and they talking about how everybody's hurting. Like, what are they going to do? Because since the Trios titles was created, who are they going to get? And next thing you know, Hangman comes up. And Matt and him was talking like, yeah, man, I've been wanting to reach out to you. And, man, oh, by the way, happy birthday, man. Yeah, happy birthday, man. We got something for you, man. He's like, yeah, man, I appreciate it, man. And as soon as, they was going to possibly ask Hangman to join them so that they can go and get those Trios titles, here come the Dark Order. The Dark Order come out the woodwork clowning. They gave him some cake. And Heyman was like, guys, me and the Bucks, we kind of got to handle this business. And then man was like, no. He said, man, that's good, man. He said, we'll talk some other time, man. And so as they kept walking, they said, Brandon, cut the camera, cut it. So basically, they're teasing the reunion of Hangman with the Bucks. And you know what, man? I'm cool with that. I'm cool with it. So right after that, they advertise everybody from the Elite is coming back. That's Adam Cole, Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly. Now, we know Adam Cole ain't wrestling. We know he's not wrestling, but obviously they're going to have them all back on TV. So I don't know what they're going to do. They all coming back because they said they're going to be on TV. But that's it. So we move on to the main event. Ladies and gentlemen, when I tell y'all that Daniel Garcia is that dude, I really mean that. The fact that you go out there and have an excellent match with Bryan Danielson, listen, it's funny to say. Tony Khan, he's a circus clown. Last week, everything was good until we got to the main event, because the main event was hot garbage last week. This week, everything was mediocre until we got to the main event. Like, this fool really can't make up his mind that he want to put on an outstanding show. He'll give us something good, and then he'll give us straight trash. Or he'll give us straight trash, and then give us something good at the very end. Now, Bryan, throughout this whole match, was playing along with this whole deal about him having this concussion. So every time he fell out and he did all this, I said, man, I don't know if this fool is selling. I don't know if he's playing. I don't know. Because that's Bryan. That is Bryan for you. So even had DG wondering, like, is this fool good or not? So Bryce kept checking on him and everything. Right when I was ready to say this match was good, from the bell all the way to the bell, they didn't waste no time. DG pulled up the mat. You got the bare concrete, does a DDT, and what happens? Blood. I said, oh, man. I said, man, you don't need it. You don't need blood every time. I'm watching this and I said, here we go again. Tony, you fell in love. Tony Khan fell in love with the blood, and I'm like, bro, you don't need to do it all the time. This match was great. DG and BD was out there wrestling, even with Bryan, with the whole concussion crap, all of this foolishness. It was an outstanding match. It's just the blood, ladies and gentlemen. You don't need to do it all the time. You don't, because when you do it so much, cats are going to get tired of it. They're going to say, you know what, man, I really can't tell when they're supposed to bleed because these fools bleed every week. But I'm like, you don't need to do it all the time. And it's funny he said, not because we still talk about Dynamite. Monday Night Raw, they thought they was slick. They had Montez get busted open. And I'm sitting up here like, why? They thought maybe having Montez bleed, that was going to do something. He didn't need to bleed. I get it, they go on TV 14 now, but even then, that was stupid. Like I said, man, don't even have somebody bleed when it calls for it. The BCC, they might as well change their name to the Blood Combat Clowns, because that's all they do. They wrestle their tails off. They are great, but all they like to do is bleed. So instead of calling themselves the Blackpool Combat Club, they should change their name to the Blood Combat Clowns, because that's all they want to do. I'm like, you don't need to bleed all the time. And I know I'm going to have my Moxley and Byran and Willa Yuta fans upset, but I'm just telling you the bold-faced truth. They bleed way too much. You don't need to do it. You do not need to do it. They do it way too much. Back to the match. They had everybody and their mama at the edge of the seat, because everybody really didn't know if Bryan was really, if he was really concussed or if he's playing games. But that's basically what he was doing. So with DG doing all this crazy stuff, busting them open and all that, Bryan started coming back. Bryan started just doing what he always does. Starts doing the yes kicks. Everybody started yes kicks and all that stuff. Doing this, coming back, he making you think, he got it. Then you see some black arm with a dude with a black shirt, and you see his arm pop up from under the ring, and he grabbing on to Bryan's leg. I said, who is that? Is that Jeff? Talk about one of the clowns in the JAS, right? I ain't even thinking about Jake Hager. I ain't even thinking about that circus clown. That's the first clown I'm thinking about. So after he let him go, DG gets him, DG puts him in a submission hold. He does the sharpshooter. Then he puts him in another submission hold. And Bryan passes out. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to be 1,000%. Everybody and their mama's mama had Bryan winning. Ain't nobody had DG winning. Then nobody had DG winning. Nobody. Here Tony Khan does it again where everybody who you think is going to win doesn't win. They believe in Daniel Garcia. Daniel Garcia is that guy, ladies and gentlemen. He's that dude. He is legit. He is legit. Him and Willie Yuta had that outstanding match on Saturday night. He comes back and follows it up with the man Bryan Danielson. You gotta give DG all the praise on the planet, and I had to. I'm not finna sit up here and just listen. I talked about the show being a mediocre show until we got to the very end. Why? Because I like DG, and DG when he go out there, he gonna give me a good match, and then he goes out there and he have a good match with the man himself who been running around here playing this concussion game. Listen, if it wasn't for the blood, I would have gave this match 5 stars. But I'm giving this match a 4. This was great. The fact that I didn't even see DG going over, excellent. Great. Great on Tony Khan. But once again, this circus clown he's a circus clown. Because I'm like, bro, how the heck did you give us a mediocre show from the jump all the way to the end, and then the end is the best match on the show? Please make it make sense. I'm asking you. I want it to make sense. I really do. I want it to make sense. But Tony Khan said, nope. I'm about to just let them go out there. I'm going to have Bryan play this concussion game. And I'm going to have DG go over because everybody believes Bryan is winning. Nope. Kudos to Bryan. Once again, putting over somebody that you didn't think he was going to put over because everybody thought Bryan was winning. I did too. So I was sitting there for a minute and I just shook my head. It's like, Tony Khan, bro. Why? Why do you give us a mediocre episode and then have the main event be off the chain? I don't know, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know about Tony Khan. I don't know. I want this young man to do great. I want him to do well. But when he comes and he does what he does tonight, I'm like, bro, that ain't it. That's not it. And especially with Mr. Triple H, quote unquote, taking over Summer Joke, from what I'm told. He's going to have full control of Summer Joke. That's what I'm told. So Summer Joke might not actually be Summer Joke. And Seth Rollins and Matt Riddle has been pulled. And apparently Matt Riddle's not even injured. So I don't know what the clown finna happen. So I'm like this. Step your game up. Step it up. Step your game up, man. Step your freaking game up. We can't be playing this game. 1 week I do something great. Next week I give you trash. I'm not playing. You can play with all these other hardcore AEW clowns. You can play with them. You ain't playing with me because I don't play over here. All the people who decided to subscribe to me, you get the realest of the realest. I keep it 1,000%. I keep it 100, 1,000, whatever you want to call it. Like I said what I said, what I liked about the show. I said maybe about 4 things on the show after the entire show I liked. But there was a lot of things that Tony Khan did tonight. I watched this episode and I was just sitting up here just shaking my head and like, what the heck? And he does this foolishness every time he come off a pay-per-view. Every time he come off a pay-per-view, he got to give us a garbage episode. I'm like, bro, why do you do this? I be looking forward to Dynamite. I'm like, okay, here we go. I was like, Raw was trash. NXT wasn't even worth watching. Dynamite, I'm like, okay, Dynamite finna be cold. Tony Khan said, nope, I'm about to give you a mediocre show. And that's exactly what he did. Gave you a very mediocre show outside of the main event because the main event was outstanding except for the blood. That's my only pet peeve about the matter of fact, my only pet peeve about the first and the main event was the blood. I think switch them. You have DG and Bryan kick the show off. And then you have Moxley and Roosh finish the show because it's the AEW World Champion. You want to, like I said, you want to treat the championship as if it's the main title, right? That's just me. I don't know how y'all felt about it. But DG going over was great because I didn't see it coming. That was excellent. But like I said, all this bleeding, man, you don't need to do it all the time. You don't need to do it all the time. Just do it when it calls for it. That is it. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. That's it. You all, man, I appreciate everybody who came through. That's my honest take. I know I'm about to have some people mad. Hey, listen, when you come here, you're gonna get the real. I'm an AEW hardcore head. I love AEW. But when they put on mediocre stuff, I gotta tell you, they putting on mediocre stuff. Keep it real. Keep it 1,000% with you. Hit the freaking comment section up. New to the channel, feel free to subscribe. We're only growing. We're keeping going. We're gonna keep this thing moving. Hit the like button. This is your boy Casey Bell, King Self for Life. Wrestling Takes. I'm gone.